Chevy has been dominating the full-size SUV market for quite a number of years at this point. While most rivals took a step back and gave up on the segment, GM doubled down on it, or should I say tripled down on it. The Yukon, Escalade, and Tahoe Suburban have so far this year accounted for well over 200,000 sales, and the Tahoe is by far the biggest part of that. So it's safe to say that Chevy's not going to let the Tahoe get stale, and indeed for 2018 they have made a few incremental changes. One of those changes is the new RST package, which this review will cover in addition to the 3 main trims. So let's go ahead and see what consumers love so much about the Tahoe. We would like to specially thank Sutherland Chevrolet for giving us access to today's vehicle. If you would like to check out their beautiful dealership and extensive inventory of new Chevys, we have provided a link to their website in the video description. The Tahoe gets Chevy's typical key fob design, which does have a nice feel in the hand. Additionally, remote start is included on the LT and up. Only the top-end Premier gets smart entry. Let's start things off by seeing what's changed under the hood. The main powertrain in the vast majority of Tahoes carries over unchanged this year. It starts with this 5.3-liter V8, making 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission and can be either rear or 4-wheel drive. Now you may have noticed I said vast majority and not all. And that's because the Escalade's 6.2-liter V8 and 10-speed automatic are now available on the Tahoe, albeit in a very restricted way. To get it, you must choose the Premier trim, add the RST edition, and then further add the RST Performance package. If you do that, you'll be rewarded with 420 horsepower and 0 to 60s in under 6 seconds. The Tahoe's fuel economy is probably a lot better than you would think, thanks to grille shutters and cylinder deactivation. For the 5.3-liter, it is rated at 16 city, 23 highway, 19 combined with 2-wheel drive, and 16 city, 22 highway, 18 combined for the 4x4. With the 6.2-liter, both drivetrains get 17 combined. Now let's move on to the exterior design and features. Cosmetically, the main 3 trims of the Tahoe stay mostly the same, but the new RST package changes quite a lot. Up front, we still have the large square grille, finished in full chrome on this Premier. On the lower 2 trims, it is black on the inside, and on the RST, it is black and body colored, plus the bow tie is black. Turning to the headlights, they continue to be HIDs on the Premier and halogens on the other 2 trims. However, these LED daytime running lights are now on all models. but the fog lamps continue to be on the Premier only. Ground clearance comes in at 7.9 inches, though I do think that plastic piece can be removed if you want. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you about everything that's included in the Rally Sport Truck Edition. The biggest features besides the grille are the custom black and silver 22-inch wheels, black badging, and dark trim just about everywhere else. This package can be added to both the LT and Premier. Besides the RST, there are a ton of optional wheels to pick between, and these are one of them. They are the chrome multi-spoke 22s, one of 7 different designs available for $3,000. The standard 20-inch Premier wheels look paltry in comparison, as do the 18s on the LS and LT. The brakes are 13-inch ventilated disc in the front, and 13.6-inch ventilated disc in the rear. And the tires are all seasons. The mirrors are power adjusting and heated on every trim, but the Premier adds power folding, auto dimming, and chrome caps. You'll also find side blind zone alert next to the turn signal on Premier. Chevy does nicely include running boards on every trim, but they're not chrome on the lower ones. The Tahoe continues to measure in at 204 inches long, which is close to most competitors, but a little smaller than the new Ford Expedition. On the Premier trim, you also get magnetic ride control, which reduces body roll and helps ride quality, among other things. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety doesn't rate vehicles this big, but the size and active safety technologies like automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, and auto high beams should keep you pretty safe. Those features are standard on LT and above. Of course, the Tahoe still has its traditional boxy design out back. There's honestly not a whole lot to look at back here, but these taillights are pretty nice looking. They basically look like vertical Camaro lights. Behind the bumper, there is a single exhaust and a full-size spare tire. For towing, the Tahoe can handle up to 8,400 pounds with 4x4 and 8,600 pounds with 4x2. For comparison, the new Expedition is rated for up to 9,300 pounds. You have a standard spoiler and also roof rails, which are chrome on Premier only. Every Tahoe has a 26-gallon fuel tank, which gets you a 494-mile range with rear-wheel drive, and 468 miles with 4x4. With the new 6.2-liter V8, range drops to 442 miles. Well, I think that pretty much covers the outside, so now let's go ahead and check out the luxurious interior. Like the outside, the interior hasn't seen much in the way of changes, but it's still as luxurious as ever. That's especially true in the Premier, where we have the standard leather available in 3 colors: this Cocoa Dune, Jet Black, or Mahogany. The LT also gets leather, but it has a dark ash color option instead of mahogany. Finally, the LS finishes things off with cocoa or black cloth seating. The door trim retains the same mix of nice materials, with stitched leather all through the armrest area, and padded plastic on the top portion. The two front windows are auto up-down, and auto down in the back. You also have two-person memory seats on all but the base trim. The driver's seat on our Premier Tahoe is 12-way power adjusting, whereas the other two make do with 10-way power seats. The leather quality feels fairly luxurious, and this also has the safety alert seat which vibrates warning signals. First looking around the cabin, you'll see mostly the same design from its 2015 redesign, but I think it's aged pretty well. And likewise, the materials have also. The entire upper dash is all soft touch plastic with stitching. In the middle you have leather trim and more soft touch materials along the entire center console. There is also some really fake looking trim. Press the button to start. Once you do, the standard 8-inch MyLink display will fire up, but navigation is only on the Premier. What you are looking at are the optional gauges on the Premier, which have this large 8-inch display instead of the standard 4.2-inch one. These are very customizable, and you can pull up neat things like the navigation map if so equipped. The other thing I really like is the ability to change the design to whatever your preference is. Overall, I'm a fan of this setup here and in other GM vehicles. Packaged with that is a heads-up display. It is very clear and can be repositioned easily. And there are several layouts you can choose between. The steering on the Tahoe is electric power and fed through this standard leather-wrapped wheel. On the left side, you have your cruise controls and a button for the heated steering wheel on Premier. On the other side, there is a variety of buttons and a pad for the display. The wheel is also power adjusting on Premier. In addition, power pedals are included on LT. And here are your four-wheel drive controls and buttons for the optional trailer brake controller. Now moving on to storage, the Tahoe is one of the best vehicles on the market, period. This center console is absolutely massive, and it should be able to swallow a laptop or other equipment no problem. You also have a 12-volt outlet and two USB ports over here. There is also a little cutout on top, which doubles as a wireless phone charger on the Premier. Only Premier gets covering over this stuff. Once opened, it is decently sized and has even more connections. Yet another option you have is to raise the screen. It makes for a nice secret place, and there's your fifth USB port. Finally, there is a space along the side here. The reason for all this space is the column shifter. You can shift manually by using these little toggles. And this button will put you in a special trailering mode. Once you shift into reverse, a standard backup camera will appear. It does have standard trajectory, but it could be higher quality, and a bird's eye option would be nice. Moving on to climate, all trims get this 3-zone automatic setup. All the controls are located down here together, and the knobs have a real durable feel to them. The rear climate is controlled below with its own set of toggles. Or of course you can do it from the back. Off to the side, you have 3-stage heated seats on LT and Premier, and also 3-stage ventilation on Premier only. Now let's sample the 10-speaker Bose Centerpoint sound system. Sound quality is impressively full and rich. That brings us to the MyLink system, which we'll take a quick look at. Starting here in audio, you can play, pause, and skip tracks straight from this screen with the standard Bluetooth. You also have presets along the bottom, and shortcuts to other functions along the top. Next we have phone. You can scroll through your synced contacts from your phone, or just dial manually on this pad. There is also text message support. Projection is where the standard Android Auto and Apple CarPlay systems would show up if you connect your phone via USB. I won't demonstrate this now, but we do have a separate video that covers these features. Now let's look at the integrated navigation. The map is clear and moving around is smooth. Also, pinch to zoom is supported. Finally, let's quickly discuss OnStar. From here you have many different features, including the well-known 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. That's all we're going to cover in this video, but if you'd like a deeper look into the Chevy MyLink system, be sure to watch our dedicated tech help video that discusses all the features, settings, and OnStar subscription plans. A link is provided in the description. This auto-dimming rearview mirror is standard on the top 2 trims, and you have universal remotes that go along with it. New this year, the sunglass holder and conversation mirror have been separated. Not sure why though. Oddly, this power moonroof is optional even on the Premier trim, and only available through a $2,300 package. There is no panoramic option due to the rear entertainment. So overall, the Tahoe's cabin has aged gracefully. It ticks all the boxes people expect in terms of space and comfort, while also delivering luxury that's only a half step behind the Escalade. It should be able to hold its own against the new Expedition. That beeping is the rear seat reminder. It does that if you have used the rear doors before or during the latest startup. Now let's check out the rest. In the back of the Tahoe, you'll find a good 39 inches of legroom and 38.7 inches of headroom. That does put it a little behind its biggest rivals, the new Expedition and the Nissan Armada. The door trim in the back is the same as in the front, with leather padding and soft touch plastic. You also have several storage compartments. Getting in the back is actually easier since you have this grab handle. These are the climate controls that will be on all Tahoes, but the heated seats are Premier only. You also have an outrageous amount of connections, with a household outlet, aux jack, 2 USB ports, an HDMI, and a 12-volt outlet. There's also a bin down here for storage. Up top we have the optional rear entertainment system. This screen is 8 inches and it supports Blu-ray DVDs. There are also some LED lights on the side of it. Above each passenger is your own air vent. Looking at the legroom, as you can see, there is plenty of space with the front seat adjusted to my 5'8" body. Foot space is also adequate. However, in the third row, things get considerably more restrictive. The actual measurement is 24.8 inches of legroom, but the problem is really the utter lack of thigh support. At least Chevy gives you a 12-volt outlet and some cup holders. If you routinely use the third row, then go for Suburban. There are 2 buttons on the fob, the first being for just the glass portion. This feature is becoming increasingly rare, so it's nice to see it here. Looking inside the cargo area, you'll find only 15.3 cubic feet of capacity with all the seats in place. That will expand to 51.7 cubic feet with the third row folded, and 94.7 with the second row folded. The floor is quite high, but you do get a little storage underneath. These buttons control the seat folding. As you can see, that gives you an impressive amount of flat space for whatever you're hauling. The seat on the passenger side is also 12-way power with 4-way lumbar. The glove box seems a little small for a vehicle of this size. Well guys, that concludes our in-depth look at the 2018 Chevrolet Tahoe. Stay tuned for pricing information regarding the entire lineup of Tahoes, as well as this loaded up Premier model. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and come along with us next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.